We've all heard of Netflix and binge at this point. It's a pretty trendy word, pretty trendy topic, but it's true. We live in a generation where we love binging shows. And,
that's how they're set up. The show ends, like, you sit down on a Saturday to watch one episode, but the episode ends, and all of a sudden there's that cliffhanger. The guy's about to get shot.
And then it just cues it right next episode.
12 hours later, like, 10 boxes of frozen pizza, Domino's, wings, whatever.
And that's the thing. They don't make, like, movies aren't as popular anymore. It's just like a 10-hour movie now on Netflix.
It just goes on forever.
And the shows are so good, but we don't want you eating shitty food. We don't want you ordering out or throwing in the frozen pizza. We want you eating like kings and queens while you binge Netflix.
So what we thought we would do is break down an entire day of Netflix binging and show you all of the amazing food that you can make throughout. And the whole concept is simple. Like, you prep a little something, you toss it in the oven, you watch an episode. By the time that episode's over, you have this pizza ready to go. This egg sandwich.
We're going to take you through multiple meals that work just like Josh just explained. Breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner, popcorn. So you will literally be feasting for the entire Netflix and binge. So let's get after it.
Oh. So the very first thing, of course, you want on your binge, and we're talking like an 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. type binge. Like, we're talking like a 12-hour full season.
So we're saying it's basically an hour show.
And you can
10 episodes.
You can do this is an example how you could do one. You can do it however you want, but if you follow this along, you'll be feeling great. So the first thing, of course, you want is breakfast. So one of my favorite things to do is to make some sort of like oatmeal porridge that's actually freaking delicious. But I like to have tea as well. So I make a little bit of raspberry green tea, just kind of pour some hot water. And as Mike said, very important not to use super boiling water in that green tea.
Pet peeve right there. Do not overcook your green tea. It will go bitter very fast. Just, boil your water, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then pour it over your tea for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then it's done.
So what I like to do is take some of that tea and actually mix it into my oats. So I have some oats and I have some flaxseed. I have a little bit of cinnamon and some honey, and I pour the tea right in there so it kind of infuses this like herbally delicious flavor. Mix that around, cap it off, and just let that sit for a few minutes. It's gonna bloom the oats. And instead of cooking down this whole porridge, I think this is better. It gives you more texture. It's almost like bread, cake-like.
So you can just go on watching your show for a half hour, let that sit, and then by the time that's done, you've got these delicious oats ready to go.
The oats are nice and spongy, and I find that the oats like kind of have that texture. So I basically put them in a bowl, top it off with my favorite berries, hit it with some yogurt, you do a little bit of honey, you do some cinnamon, and you have this beautiful breakfast right there.
So what makes this binge so special is that most of these are oven recipes. So let's break down this oven real quick. Everything is going to be set at 325, so it keeps it simple for you. Set your oven 325 Fahrenheit, whatever this is, Celsius right there. The first thing we're going to do in the oven is a slow cooked goat for dinner. All right, we're gonna get that in early because it's gonna slow cook over time. You can watch a few episodes while this thing cooks.
Well, this is like you get it early in the day, and then by dinner time you have this delicious
ready to
slow.
go.
And you can use any meat you want, of course, beef, chicken,
anything that you can slow cook.
Herring.
I went to the farmer's market. I had some goat ribs that are gonna really break down nice. This is a dump and stir recipe. Just get a nice pan like this, some casserole dish, pour in some plain tomato sauce just like this. Then I went in with some coconut milk for the creaminess and the flavor. Then I just hit it with the curry powder to keep it really simple, whatever curry powder you have. Sprinkled on a bunch of salt. You can add any spice you want. I'm gonna add some of this chili pepper paste or sambal. Then I soaked some chickpeas overnight. You can use canned chickpeas, but I like the fresh. Pour those right in with the liquid to give you an extra little bit of liquid. And now I've got these beautiful goat ribs, which are gonna slow cook very nicely. I chopped them up into pieces so it's a little easier to handle. And then just for this special occasion, I found some fresh curry leaves. You can use any fresh herb, cilantro would be good, basil, but the curry leaves are gonna give it a beautiful flavor. Tin foil that up, put it in the 325 oven, and just go watch some Netflix. Go watch your favorite show, and we'll get back to that soon.
All right, so for an alternative take on breakfast, or maybe like a kind of mid before lunch little meal, we thought we'd try something different. Oven baked egg sandwich. So So what we did was we took a little loaf, and whatever loaf you got works, but we kind of chopped the top off and then hollowed out the bread. It gives you like a little like bread boat, right? Then you crack a bunch of eggs into a bowl.
We did 4 eggs for this.
4 eggs, beat them up, add some chives, some salt and pepper, and then pour that into the bread, and it kind of just fills up nicely right in there. And then on the top side, which you want to make sure you save that, add some mozzarella. And then we put some meat. We do braciola. It's like a cured beef. We kind of put that on the side.
With just a little bit of oil to make sure that crisp up really nice. And this is just like an all-incorporated oven
sandwich.
sheet.
Yeah, and what's cool is you don't have to deal with like a lot of pans and all kinds of cleanup. You just throw that into the oven. You go back, you watch your episode. About 30 minutes later, you're gonna have a delicious sandwich that comes out. It's like the bread's crispy and like almost like fresh baked.
And when we cut into it, if you look at it right here, it looked like bread. But this entire layer right here was actually egg. It was just fluffed up egg that perfectly blended in with the yellowness of the bread. And that was one of the best breakfast sandwiches I ever had.
So freaking yeah.
What's a Netflix session without some delicious popcorn? I always do fresh popcorn. I'm not a big microwave guy, so this will be really quick, and then you can go back to watching an episode. The way that I found works best is heat up some oil in a pan, get that nice and hot, then dump in your poppies right into there, and just let that pop. Look at this. This is some action right here. Pop the lid right off. Now just dump that into a bowl. And so we went with some salt and pepper, and then we cut up a bunch of chives and mixed those in. And the chives actually give it such a nice essence because you pour over the hot popcorn and it sort of infuses that chive flavor, and this stuff is great.
So another little prep thing we're gonna do is dessert. Ice cream sandwiches, if you don't like them, you're probably not human, but that's okay because you can still like this one. So I thought it'd be fun, instead of using ice cream, to actually just take some mashed up banana. So I mashed up some banana, added a little bit of honey, took the beautiful cookies, added some of that mashed banana to the top, added some just like white chocolate chips, and then just popped them into the freezer. And this is, we're talking like 3-4 hours later.
Well, I forgot about that until now. We actually haven't tasted that one.
Oh, they're gonna be so good.
That was gonna be incredible.
So you pop the top back on and like kind of keep it back in the freezer for a little while. Then you come out with these sort of ice cream sandwiches, because frozen banana by itself is like basically ice cream. And you could use ice cream, but I urge you to try something different.
We want to keep these simple so we can get back to binging our Netflix.
Also, a big thing with a Netflix session is, like you want to go through the whole day, but it's nice to have little breaks. Don't just get up to go to the bathroom. Like get up, prep something for a few minutes, and then get back to your show. Like at least stand up and move, for Christ's sakes.
You want to feel good about yourself and not just be an asshole and just sit on your ass.
Also, talk about a way to really impress a date. You bring them over for like, hey baby, to come Netflix and chill. It's like, but you have this whole gourmet meal planned out. Like, come on.
So this is a good time to actually check on your goat. You do want to do that once in the process. So you just open it up, kind of mix it around. You can turn it over, see where it's at. Right here, it wasn't pulling yet. You will know when it's done, when all that meat's pulling off. So we'll just pop that back in, keep that Netflix rolling along, and we will have dinner soon enough. We wanted a nice sort of lunch, maybe midday snack type of meal, and we have the oven cooking at 325 all day. So we figured a slow cooked pizza. We wanted to try that out. So we got some dough. So we just rolled out that dough real nice, and we put that on a pan with some oil in the pan so it got crispy. And then we just topped it up. We did 2 sides. I did a pretty classic margarita with some prosciutto and some basil and some mozz.
I got a little weird with it. I had a little tomato sauce down, which went over the whole top. Added some feta cheese. I added some little cured meat, like a little salami, but then raspberries been my new favorite thing. Break up some raspberry, you add it on there.
That's my new favorite thing.
Hit the whole thing. It's so good on pizza because it's like this tart sweetness. You hit the whole thing with olive oil, toss it in the oven, and that's about an episode if you're watching an hour-long show. With one episode, pop it in the pizza. It took us around an hour, I would say.
Yeah.
And you take it
You're
out.
just looking for the golden brown, but it was a nice consistency because it was like a slow cooked. It got nice and crispy.
Yeah, and it wasn't like as crispy as like a super high, like kind of charred one, but it kind of had this like nice bread consistency to it.
It's nice because again, you know, you don't have time to be checking like this pizza that's cooking at a high temp.
You just want to know, you throw it in, you watch your episode, you're so excited, the episode ends, you grab your pizza, and then you're back watching, eating. And I topped it off with some arugula as well on the one side, just to add some freshness. But talk about a freaking lunch right there, my friend.
So for the finale dinner, we want to make just a simple rice. There's so much flavor in that sauce with our goat that we're just going to make some basic white rice. Just get a few cups of rice. I did 2 cups of rice and washed it off, and then I added about 3 cups of water. Put that on the back burner for 20 minutes with the lid on a simmer, and that comes off nice. And if you check that beautiful pulled goat rib right there with just a tomato coconut curry sauce, so insane. That is your dinner and Netflix action.
And all you're left with is to take out those beautiful fake ice cream sandwiches that are even better than ice cream sandwiches, the banana ice cream sandwiches, and you enjoy them, you stuff your face. That is it, my friends. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Brothers Green here. Subscribe below. You know, we're all about helping you eat delicious food, especially in those long Netflix days.
Just whenever you can, bring in that homemade food to your life. You can incorporate it around your schedule, and that's what this video was about. You don't have to. You can still watch. Are you turning me off right now?
Yeah.
All right.
I can't take this guy talking, please.